one big important team for every Formula One team there, as we have the cars coming back down the hill now. Mark Webber giving the crowd a big wave.
And we're also hearing in the background Start Me Up by the Rolling Stones, and that is because that's one of their favourite bits of music apparently that is played in the factory and at the track when they're all working on the cars. This music is what Red Bull work with, and it's working extremely well.
It is such a winning percentage as well. 31.4% is Red Bull's winning percentage, and 31.6 is their Constructor Championship winning percentage as well.
Well, it's lovely to see them heading down towards the Goodwood house now, and so many fans about to absorb some vision that you just would not see anywhere else. To see so many members of a team that has had this success over the years, different drivers, team boss, the technical expert Adrian Newey, all a part of this, all a part of the 20 years of remarkable history in Formula One. And it's so lovely that we've got many, many fans here at Goodwood, and that's what is so unique about being at the Festival of Speed. You get opportunities to see things that you just would never see. I popped down to the Cathedral paddock earlier where all of the cars are gathered, and anybody here at Goodwood today, you've got that chance to go down to the Cathedral paddock. You'll see all of the cars there. But now's our opportunity to go and join them down there with Rachel.
Thank you very much, Ben. And yes, Sergio Perez has just pulled up in front of Harry now. We've got donuts on the lawn here right now, on the grass just outside, as they're pulling in to join us, Harry.
Yeah, that's Max Verstappen, who is absolutely loving life here at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. And what a picture it is outside the Goodwood house, celebrating 20 years of Red Bull racing, how a plucky energy drink company became one of the mightiest forces in Formula One. Sergio Perez is just climbing out of the RB18 from 2022. And it is a phenomenal scene. Max Verstappen has just pulled up behind him. He's in the RB16B. A whole evolution on offer from Red Bull.
In fact, yeah, the RB16B from 2021. Verstappen, Albon and Perez all drove it, and 13 wins in 39 races. It had to be across 2 seasons, of course, because the regulations got held back for a year after COVID. 36 podiums and the Drivers' Championship for Max, of course, while Mercedes took that Constructors' title that year. You can see the crowd enjoying this moment as Max makes his way into the house, having climbed out of the car, leading the Drivers' Championship right now. Of course, been a trickier season, though, for Red Bull this year, hasn't it? Max has some challenges, hasn't won the last few races either.
No, we all thought this season would be a walkover for Red Bull and Max Verstappen, but that has not happened, and you can see behind us the crowd have absolutely been let onto the lawn in front. Max Verstappen surrounded by cameras, so too Sebastian Vettel. Christian Klein is also here. He drove the first RB1 up the hill. Mark Webber, Daniel Ricciardo, and Red Bull. This just highlights how amazing the driver program has been for such a team. Max Verstappen, a massive benefit of that, coming from the Toro Rosso team into Formula One, winning on debut, and the rest is history.
Well, it is 120 wins, 277 podiums for Red Bull in their 20-year history. They're such a young team to have had so much success already. If we have a look at this RB8 that Christian Horner just pulled up on here, the 2012 car that Christian Horner has driven, Vettel and Webber were the drivers, of course. 7 wins, 14 podiums, the Constructors and Drivers' Championships. And as I said before, he took this around Silverstone just to make sure he didn't stall it on the way up the hill.
Just to get himself a little bit of practice. You can tell it's the 2012 car because it's got the step on the nose. Then 2013 came along and they added a bit of a vanity panel to make it look a little bit nicer. But 2012, what a season as well. 7 different races in the first, 7 different winners of the first 7 races. Webber and Vettel getting wins, and the title going all the way to the final. Interlagos in Brazil with the rain coming down.
Oh,
Sebastian
what a day
Vettel
that was.
turned around on lap 1 by Bruno Senna's Williams, fought back to the points and took the title from Fernando Alonso. And what an epic season. It's one we all remember.
Let's have a closer look at this then. This is the car Sergio Perez just drove in here, the 2022 RB18, one of Adrian Newey's most successful Formula One cars to date. 22 races, 17 wins, 28 podiums, the drivers and constructors champions. 5 races they didn't win, Harry. Can you name them? The 5 they didn't win in 2022.
Oh, Bahrain, the first one?
Yes.
That's all I got for you.
At the end of the race, they lost both drivers at the end of that race. Australia, Austria, Brazil and Great Britain. Brazil, of course, George Russell.
Absolutely, of course, in Brazil, and what was a sprint race too. And you can see the differences in this car compared to all the other. This one of the big the car has undergone, introducing ground effect as well. Bigger tyres from Pirelli, the Formula One tyre supplier, powering Verstappen and Sergio Perez to multiple race wins and, of course, a title as well. And this marking another one of their successes with Honda and the Honda racing team with the engine in the back.
We've got all the fans now have been able to come forward. I can spot Gabriel, who we spoke to earlier, has got himself a prime position here. And they're all looking up at the balcony as Karun awaits the drivers out there, and Christian Horner's wife as well, Jerry, is up there too. And you can see the fans gathering up close to these cars as the mechanics just go and make sure that these are all getting the cooling they need right now as they sit here. What a sight to see these in front of the house.
You know what, Rachel? I think this is busier than a Formula One grid is. It is absolutely packed. And the great thing about it is it's such a celebration of one of the most amazing teams, the most successful teams, a disruptor of Formula One.
Most definitely. Well, let's go to our very own disruptor in Formula One, up on the balcony, waiting to speak to the drivers who've just bought these Red Bull cars here for this celebration. It's Karun Chandok.
Hey, welcome to sunny Goodwood on a wonderful Sunday here. We've got a real treat for you. Starting up here to kick off the Red Bull celebration, I'm going to invite Mark Webber, David Coulthard, Christian Klein, and Hamda Al-Khabaisi out. Christian, I'm going to start with you because I don't know how many people are aware of this, but you were actually at day 0 at Red Bull. You were backed by Red Bull to join Jaguar Racing alongside Mark. How special is it to look back at 20 years of the team?
Unbelievable. I mean, it's so special to see all the 20 cars line up, but then you really understand really the history about Red Bull Racing. To sit in that car that I, from 2005, 20 years ago, it's just magical. V10 engine. I think it's the best sounding car from all the era. It was special, and I haven't been here in Goodwood for about 15 years, so to see all the crowd and all the car enthusiasts was just amazing.
And when you went to Jaguar Racing, I see Sir Jackie Stewart there, who the origin of the team was, of course, Stewart Grand Prix. Did you think that it would become Red Bull Racing and go on to achieve what it has?
I think in the first 2 years, you couldn't really think that this is possible, what Red Bull Racing has achieved in the last 20 years. Although, you know, the vision of Mateschitz was very clear what he wanted to do with this team. And Adrian joined the team, you could really see they don't just want to be part of Formula One, they want to win Formula One. And from there, it just accelerated, and just very, very proud to be a small part of Red Bull Racing.
Brilliant, thank you. Hamda, lovely to see you here. Your first time, I believe, driving at the Festival of Speed. Your Formula 4 cars here, you've been a race winner in championships for that. How cool is it for you to be following this line of cars up the hill?
Yeah, honestly, my point of view in the car was unbelievable. I could see the F1 cars in front, and yeah, it's just an amazing experience. I'm really happy to be here. My first time at Goodwood, and it did not disappoint, so I'm really happy. Yeah.
Brilliant, thank you. Right, I'm going to pull these two in because you guys laid the foundations, I think it's safe to say, for the success. David, you were there from the very first Grand Prix, 4th place in Melbourne. How do you look back on it?
Well, I think it's a great celebration of who are the new kids on the block in many ways, 20 years young. Of course, this team came out of, you know, Stewart Grand Prix, Jaguar, and then what's been developed into what we see here today. But I think what a great place in front of a group of passionate fans. We're all fans, but we got one of the best seats in the house driving these cars, and with so much history here in Goodwood. This is part of the modern history, so it's great to have been part of that journey.
Mark, you love it here. You're pretty much a resident now. Picture for Mark Webber. Yes, definitely a few Mark Webber hats here. You're a title contender. You won races. How cool has it been to see what the team has achieved now when you're on the other side of the fence? Because you're now holding the microphone, looking at their recent run of success after earlier a decade ago.
Yeah, of course, like DC touched on, I think, being there in the early days was phenomenal. I think we were in Disneyland if we thought what this team was going to go on to achieve in Formula One against all the giants in the industry. Decades. So it's a testament to Dietrich Mateschitz's vision to show how he went in elite sports in all sectors, and Formula One was included in that. So DC and I were just very lucky to play a small role in what was an incredible journey. 20 years goes fast, and David's right. To celebrate this here today in Goodwood, this is the best motorsport festival in the world. No one can touch this event. So to do it here on really the team's home turf in the UK, to celebrate that 20 years is really a special day for me.
And Mark, you were at Jaguar Racing in 2004, and then you went away to Williams, but you came back. What was different? Because Jaguar didn't win anything. There was lots of promise. And then this became that dominant force for 4 years where you were there.
Yeah, I think it was just very corporate, of course. And when you get too corporate, the stopwatch suffers. So this team was very clear on their ambitions, lofty ambitions, yes, about winning championships, winning races. They weren't shy about pushing the boundaries. It was a start-up mentality, if you like, and that was, the cornerstone to the culture of the success of the team. Make big decisions, get on with it, and back ourselves to beat the best.
Right, I'm going to call two of the decision makers. I'm going to get you guys to wait here a second. Two of those people who definitely weren't corporate, definitely disruptors. The two architects of Red Bull Racing, Christian Horner and Adrian Newey. Christian, were you nervous driving one of your cars?
I was absolutely shitting myself. But I mean, an incredible experience. And to see all these cars running with all our drivers, amazing.
Adrian, you've driven up lots of bits and pieces. You've driven cars that you've designed, Formula One cars you've designed. Was it different driving a road car that you've designed?
Yeah, very different. I also I ended up with a passenger. DC jumped in at the last moment. So one of the reasons why I joined Red Bull in the first place, because of all of the time I'd known DC, so then have him passengering and drive up in that car was special.
Well, I mean, we know you're coming to the end of your Red Bull journey now. Why did you join them? You were at Williams, you were at McLaren, these ultra-successful teams. Christian's got a startup and he's trying to... What gave you the incentive to come here?
Well, I just fancied a fresh challenge. I've been fortunate enough to work for two great teams in Williams and McLaren, and the challenge of working for a team more or less from the start. As I say, David gave it a big vote of confidence. Christian many times happened to be walking the opposite way down the paddock when I was walking in, and so we got to know each other, and then I went over to see Dietrich Mateschitz, our owner, and he gave me the assurance that this was going to be a proper outfit, and so the promise of that and the excitement of that, then that swayed me.
Now listen, Red Bull Racing have done 380 Grand Prix. They've done, 381 including Silverstone. They've won 120 of them. You've been at every single Grand Prix. That's an amazing thing. I can't think of many team principals who could have committed the time. I mean, do you feel you have to be in the coalface of it right now?
Well, look, I just love it, and I think that this journey started with the car in front of us, with RB1, with DC and Christian Clean, and we're 120 race wins in and 13 world championships, and it's been a privilege working with these drivers. It's been a privilege working with Adrian. My respect for the drivers has just increased massively, because I don't know how they drove those cars around Monaco, because Adrian left zero space for them. How Mark Webber got in that car, I have no idea. So, but it's been an incredible 20 years. We're incredibly proud, to be British-based, Austrian-owned, but British-based, and to come and bring the cars here this weekend in front of all the fans, is something very, very special.
Now, come on, are you going to miss each other?
Sorry, say again.
Are you... Come on, what are you going to miss about him?
Well, look, we had so much fun over the years, and you know, Adrian's a great friend as well as a colleague, and we've been through an awful lot together, and for sure we're going to miss him, but we're very proud of what we've done together, and you know, my lawn, you know, the amount of donuts he's done it on over the years, and all the mischief he's been up to, we're going to miss, but you know, we're very proud of what we did in the time we had together.
Sorry, I mean, it's been a fantastic journey working with Christian from those early years, and how we've together developed the team, and all the great people, all the wonderful staff that we have back at the factory and the race team and so forth. So it's been a real privilege. It's something I always look back on with great fondness.
Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the middle of an incredibly busy run of Formula One races, 5 out of 6 weekends. These 3 guys coming up next have got 1 weekend off, and they've decided to come and spend it with you here at Goodwood. So let's get a massive welcome, a huge round of applause. Sergio Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, and the reigning world champion, Max Verstappen. Guys, nice to see you here. Daniel, I know you've been here before. Good donuts. You're the only one who committed to it. So the Duke's going to send you the bill, by the way, for a bit of grass.
Can I take some grass with me?
A little bit, yeah. Do you love it?
It's fun. It's great. I'm also happy for the weather so far today. When I arrived yesterday, it didn't look like this. So we've had a good day. And it's fun. My dad was here the last 3 days, and he was sad to leave. So I know there's so much to do, and it's just a nice showing of all types of motorsport here. And yeah, for us here with 20 years of Red Bull racing, it's been a good day for sure.
Your dad was trying to climb into a Lotus the last time I saw him and drive off. So yeah, it's a good thing he's gone home.
I just leave in my wallet.
Checo, welcome back. You were driving Ayrton Senna's McLaren up the hill, I remember, a few years ago. How cool is it to come back here? You've lived in the UK, of course, for many years.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. You know, the last time I did Goodwood was 10 years ago with McLaren, so it's really nice to come back here with all these people. The passion you get to experience here is really, really special, and obviously with the 20th anniversary, definitely a very special day for our organization.
Max, the Duke of Richmond takes great pride in trying to have as many world champions here. This is your first time. Let's have a huge cheer, first of all. How have you enjoyed your first Goodwood experience?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, to be honest, every year I watch it from home, but it's great to be here, see so many people as well, and at the same time also, see every single year. I love racing, I love cars, so yeah, it's a great event, and it's great to be here today.
Have you had any chance to go around the paddock?
Not yet, no.
Right.
I think I probably have to just wear something else and try to, go around a little bit and have a bit of fun.
I mean, you could wear, we're sure we can find you a mask somewhere if you want to have a look around.
I'll dress up as Adrian and then I'll walk around, see how that goes.
Let's just talk a little bit about the season. It started off looking like you were going to absolutely dominate the year. Are you enjoying the fact that it's getting a bit closer?
For sure, we had some great years. Of course, this year also started off really competitively, and now, everyone is catching up a bit. Every race is a proper battle as well, so it's great. And I think that will continue also for the rest of the season. So it's really unknown what is going to happen, and that's great for the sport.
I mean, you got 3 Brits chasing you. We saw last weekend. Does it give you more satisfaction to have these sort of championship battles where?
Yeah, I mean, in general, it's just great to have, so many fantastic drivers in Formula One, and yeah, making it difficult to win. I think everyone was waiting for that as well, and that's definitely what Formula One fans want, So to have this is great between so many different teams as well. Probably with the new rules, it will be a bit different again for the first 2 years, but yeah, we'll see. But it's going to be a great rest of the year.
Now, you guys, Checo, you were in, as we said, Senna's McLaren earlier. Do you like driving older cars? Do you want to come back and drive, I don't know, something from the past? Is there anything on your bucket list you want to come and drive at Goodwood?
I think in a few years' time it will be nice to get back, like when you see with the ex-drivers from the team that they come back and drive their cars, that they spend so much such a big part of their lives, you know. So maybe when we do the 40th anniversary of the team, we come back and all together drive our cars again.
What about you, Danny? I mean, maybe a motocross bike. We've seen Dougie Lampkin riding on the roof. We've seen all sorts going on. What do you fancy having going?
Yeah, I was saying something on 2 wheels just to really scare me.
I think it'll scare the contract people, won't it?
Yeah, I know. It's probably for the best that I'm sticking with 4 wheels. But yeah, the older stuff's always fun. It's an experience when you get a clutch on your foot again and not on your hands, and you have a stick and a H pattern and these things that we kind of forgot what to do or how to do it.
You need to come to the revival. We could see Daniel Ricciardo at the revival, can't we? I could see him in an AC Cobra or something. What do you think?
I mean, I feel like the moustache, I'm already halfway there. So all I need is what do you call those English hats?
Flat cap.
Flat cap. Flat cap. Oh, get me one of those. Jolly good.
I'm sure a member of the family can find you a hat. It'll be all right. What about you, Max? Are you going to come? Have you seen the revival? Do you know about the revival? Do you fancy coming to have a play?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Adrian do it, but most of the time I think he is driving the cars a little bit illegal. He's tuning them himself. I think they have a bit more grip than other cars around, but yeah, we'll give it a go. Maybe together with Daniel, will be good fun in one car.
Ooh. Oh, you two could be teammates. Imagine that. Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo, and the RACTT. Where's the Duke? We need to get this sorted out here. This is going to be amazing. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each of you, because we're celebrating 20 years of the team. Christian, let's get you back. Mark, DC, let's get everybody back here. I'd like you guys to pick your favorite Red Bull car before we let you go. Come on, DC, you must have thought of something. I'm going to start with you while they're doing their thinking. Pick your favorite Red Bull car.
Well, that's got to be RB19 because it's the most successful car. I was lucky enough to drive it at Silverstone just before the Singapore Grand Prix last year, which is the one race they didn't win, so I must have screwed it up.
So it's his fault. Christian, go on.
Oh, it's like picking a favorite child.
It really is for you, isn't it? Because you've been around the whole time.
It is, but look, I think the 16B, that was such a massive year for us that went all the way down to the final race. So seeing it down there and seeing Max in it again today was fantastic.
Thank you. Christian Klein, have you got a favorite?
I like the cars a bit smaller, and I go by the noise, so it's the RB1 with the V10 engine.
The first one. Adrian, you penciled most of these cars. Have you got a favorite? Again, it's a bit like picking your favorite child. Have you got a favorite?
It is, it's so difficult, but I guess in many ways RB5, because although we didn't win the championship with that one, it was the one that set us on the path of the next 4, and it was what really put us on the map.
2009. Mark Webber, he says the 2009 RB5. What do you think?
The bigger brother, RB6. So as Adrian said, the foundations were laid for the RB6, so to win a few Grand Prix with that car was beautiful.
And Checo?
I'll go for the 19 because it was a very strong year for the team. We broke a lot of records this year, so definitely it's one in the history that will be a very important car.
Brilliant. Daniel, Monaco winner. What do you think?
I mean, obviously that was special. It's probably I think it's the 10, the 14. Is that right? 2014? I get confused. Anyway, the 2014 one. Yeah, well, because
10.
It was a 10, RB10. Yeah, first win, that one.
Right, Max, before I come to you, Hamda, which one do you fancy driving? I'm not going to ask you to pick a number because some of these were before you were born, but come on, which one? Do you fancy any of these?
Honestly, the RB9 drove up the hill yesterday in front of me, and it sounded so cool, so probably that one, I would say.
Brilliant. Max, 3 World Championships, 84 points lead in the championship as we stand today. Have you got a favorite?
I got 3 favorite cars. Yeah, I can't choose. The first one is the RB12 because I thought that was a fantastic car to drive. First win with it as well. It was a bit slow on the straights, but that had nothing to do with the car. Then the 16B, first championship, that's always, I think, pretty emotional, but also it was a great car to drive. And then I have to pick the 19. I think, will probably be my most successful car as well ever, you know. So, yeah, it's always an emotional one for sure.
All right, listen, thank you all for your time. I'll let the crowd give you a good cheer to say goodbye. Thank you, everybody.
Well, it has been an absolutely amazing celebration for Red Bull here at Goodwood this weekend. Alice, it's been lovely to hear from everyone involved, listening to some of the history of Red Bull, their favourite cars, etc. But it's the fans, I think, have got that wonderful opportunity that really is just unique here at Goodwood.
Yeah, it is, and to get all of the cars here, 18 Red Bull cars here this weekend, and of course this balcony moment we're getting to hear from Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez and co. You don't get that anywhere else, it must be said.
No, a very special day, no doubt about it, here at the Festival of Speed. And now we've got some more action.